You're listening to Oppositional Forces. Bad guys for good reasons. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oppositional Forces. I am your host, Scotty Don't. With me is the ever-growing taller last frost giant of the frozen north, Mr. Frost. Say hello.
Hello.
If you value your life, you'll put your phone down.
Okay.
See, sometimes you just have to threaten your friends, and they're like, all right, cool. Put the knife down, bud.
Yeah.
It ain't that big a deal.
Right.
And it wasn't. And I didn't stab him. So I feel like we're on it's a good starting point today.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't threatened to stab you in a couple of days. So
You did punch me today.
You told me to fight you.
That's true.
And I won.
You did win. So welcome, everybody. To kick things off, I want to start by obviously thanking the amazing people that have subscribed to our Patreon. Every subscriber counts. We got a lot of stuff going on. So the sooner you jump in and start throwing us your ducats, the sooner we can start doing, some more travel and go to more of these conventions. And like we're going to talk about today with SHOT Show. So
cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff. And as we start building this up, I want to be able to throw stuff back at you guys, So, we want to do some really cool things with Patreon. And so, if you want to climb in and start supporting us, those that have been, with us from the beginning, you're going to get the coolest of stuff.
The coolest.
So, 2022, it's right around the corner. By the time we drop this episode, tomorrow afternoon, it would be the 30th. And because I have very vague understandings of what day it is usually. I had to look at my watch. What day is it? Is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday.
No.
For another hour.
I'd have to throw a fit about, if tomorrow was my birthday or something,
Yeah, we've still got 48 hours. Shut up.
Shameless plug for this.
Yes, you are a New Year's baby.
Yes.
So December 31st, Mr. Frost turns 400.
And 40.
443.
44.
Oh. Well, it's close.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible friend. Well, I mean, I shaved a year off for you.
Right.
I mean, so how bad of a friend can I be? I'd be like, nah, you look so young, man.
Yeah.
So big shout out to our executive producer, Thomas Larson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We love you. And if you haven't taken the time already, hey, hit pause on the episode really quick. Like and review the podcast, please. Give us the 5 stars. Throw a nice little comment on there. Like, these two crazy bundles of joy ramble on for an hour at a time in almost totally incomprehensible English.
Right.
Causing me to throw fits and seizures. So thank you. And I keep listening every day because I can't stop myself.
Right.
We're addictive. I love you too. Now I'm just talking to the voices in my head. So,
hey, they have some pretty good ideas sometimes.
So I teased it a little bit here at the beginning. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about all the really cool stuff that's going on over the next year. And we're going to kind of take you on a little journey of what it looks like for, bad guys who are continually training and educating and growing, so that maybe you can take our example and say, oh, hey, Mr. Frost, he's almost 44 years old and he's still out there and bettering himself,
grinding,
reading the books and doing all these things.
Actually, just listen to audiobooks. I can't read.
I mean, we're Marines.
I know.
If it's not written in crayon, in pictograph, like, good luck.
Right.
But that means, the audiobook, what's the app? Audible. Right. They get all my money because I love listening to audiobooks.
Right.
and I can never have just one. It's like, is that Oreos? No, it's Reese's. It's Reese's. You can never have just one. So, before we jump into all of that, listen to this. All right, everyone, we're taking a brief moment to talk to you about one of our favorite sponsors. That's right. The Barber Collective is a Southern Utah mainstay, U.S. veteran owned with an elite team of classically trained barbers for you to get that dapper do, professional fade, or a cut on the wild side. Competitive pricing with walk-ins available. You won't walk out disappointed that you tried The Barber Collective. Call today and schedule your appointment. Mention oppositional forces and receive your first cut on us. You can schedule online at vagaro.com/barberco. That's VAGARO.com/BARBERCO. Or call them at 435-922-8454. That's 435-922-8454. That's the Barber Collective. Don't let that do you wrong. Go see them today. So 2022, it's right around the corner. I can smell it. It smells like burning bodies and
pheromones,
spent vaccine vials. The flu's back, by the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, the flu. You mean COVID? I mean the flu. Oh, wait, what?
I saw an article today, and then I subsequently, I'm sure because I read the article, that like Facebook was like, "Oh, you want a bunch of memes that people are sharing about it too?" So, the flu, which apparently took the last 2 years off, has now returned.
It's just reappeared magic,
and it has seen its shadow, and we will have 200 more years of flu variants, just like we're going to have of the other stuff that we're not allowed to talk about. We'll get booted off the different platforms. So, 2022, it's new year, new me, hashtag living my best life, hashtag. There's a bunch of moving parts that we've got already kicking off with the month of January. Part of what we're doing is working toward, that goal in the distance, right?
I don't know what the goal is, but
growth, development, business.
It. Love it.
I don't know what it is, but it feels good.
Yes, sir.
Drink your Whipple.
Yeah, give me some.
It's a reference I know went right over your head, but
it is.
Tom's gonna love that one. But so we want to grow and develop ourselves all the time. We're never satisfied. We're never happy. We're generally happy people.
I'm not.
No, Mr. Frost, he's a grumpy ass. But I'm generally happy, and sometimes I might be mistaken as a morning person. But
you are not a fucking morning person. Fuck off.
Sometimes I am. If I hit the rock stars real early.
Touch yourself before.
Oh.
You know I'm
sad about this.
You know what I'm talking about.
Call me out like that. There are a lot of Marines that I know that would think otherwise, because I used to walk in every morning just bright-eyed and bushy-tailing, "Good morning, everyone," and some gunny would say, "Shut up. Shut up and sit down."
Yeah, the Pogue life. Anyways.
Oh, I'm sorry that I picked a reasonably usable skill in the public forum.
Do you use that skill?
Yeah, people ask me calm questions all the time. Hey, can you program this radio?
Yeah, and I'm still waiting. Still.
Yeah, but I can. Probs.
Maybe.
It's a different platform than I'm used to.
I know. Sorry, as he's over here cringing because I called him a pogue for all of you.
I'm not cringing. I am a pogue.
All right. Personnel other than grunt for those of you who don't know what that is, but they are very useful and needed.
Well,
MLS.
If you don't have pogues, then how are you going to get beans, bullets, and bandages out to the front lines?
Don't care.
I don't care.
Blood makes the grass grow.
I don't care how it happens. It just does.
Right.
It's like the Jews waking up to manna in the mornings as they came out of their tents.
Right.
Just like, I don't even care how I got here.
Just give it to me. Whatever.
It just exists. Oh,
that's where.
And when you wake up,
where the food comes from at the grocery store. They make it there.
When you wake up in intensive care in Germany, and you're just like, oh, I must have flown here by myself with my wings
somehow. I teleported.
No,
it's Star Trek.
Nobody threw me over their shoulder and into a bird and onto a tarmac and.
Yeah, it was the Air Force. The Pogue of Pogues.
The corporate entity of the DOD.
Yes.
Sorry.
Rabbit hole.
We are way off base. So as we're growing and developing, pushing ourselves forward, there's a bunch of stuff that we're trying to do this year. One of those things is the long awaited rescheduling for the Urban Escape and Evasion and Urban Scout classes.
Yay, in Austin.
In Austin, Texas. Brought to you by Kevin Reeve, CEO and owner of On Point Tactical. Oh, Jinx, you owe me Coke. And that's going to be the
powder form or liquid form?
With ice, please.
Well, no, we're not cutting it with meth. Anyways.
Ice cubes.
Oh, okay.
And not the wrapper.
Oh, okay.
You're incorrigible.
I know.
Incorrigible. Sorry, I should enunciate better. People can be like, these Marines are stupid.
Hey, I don't know. I wouldn't have known the difference.
That's going to be the 3rd through the 8th of January. Now, you are listening to this on the 30th of December. Hopefully, if you're a dedicated listener.
Or the 31st.
Or the 31st. Honestly, you're a late riser. You didn't get your coffee. I get it. Okay. You're a day late and $1 short. But you're listening. And if you're listening before the 3rd through the 8th, you need to throw your hat in the ring and come out. Because
especially
of who.
In Austin.
Yes. Because of who we are. And because you know us. Because if you're listening to us, you know us.
Kind of.
You know us. You love us. Okay. Go to our website, badguyforhire.com. Drop us a message and say, hey, I want to go to this class. And I heard that friends get special pricing. And I will tell you, the secret combination. And then you contact Kevin through his website at onpointtactical.com. And you say, hey, I know Scotty Don't or Mr. Frost or both. Big fan of the show Oppositional Forces. And he said to tell you this, and then you get special pricing, and it is a steep discount.
Steep.
So.
Like steep, like I fell down the hill steep and broke my leg and my ankle steep.
Like the love of a mentor to his sad, pathetic mentee, which is Kevin, my mentor.
Oh,
and I am
glad you clarified that very quickly.
And I am the sad mentee. He has bestowed upon us a gracious gift, which is people who know us can get out to both the Urban Escape and Evasion class and Urban Scout for a very steep discount. So hit us up. Let us know. We'll get you out there. Urban E&E is more fun than I've ever had with my pants on. Okay. You spend 2 days learning lockpicking, improvised weapons, breaking into cars, blending into urban environments of all sorts, social manipulation and social engineering.
Let's clarify this. You don't learn to break into cars. You learn to get into your vehicle when you've locked yourself out.
Sure, however you want to sugarcoat that. No, you learn how to boost cars.
Okay, Mr. PC.
It's supposed to be your car, yes. But you can use that information in an emergency
to
get a pregnant woman to the hospital. Okay.
Or like if you're Mr. Isaac, get your own pregnant woman to a hospital.
Shout out to Adriana. Hey, so you spend these 2 days learning all sorts of cool stuff. Okay. Getting out of all sorts of sticky situations, how to maneuver and manipulate your way in an urban environment. The last day is a field exercise, field X, whatever you want to call it. And you are out there on the roads in the big city of Austin, and you got to get from point A to point B. You've got to cover a bunch of tasks. You got to pick a lock over here. You got to socially engineer the password to something from over here. You feel like a fucking spy, like no shit, like all day, because you are being hunted by people you don't know who are very enthusiastic
about hunting people.
And when they catch up to you, they throw you back into handcuffs. They stuff you in the car. You got to pick your way out of handcuffs again, bail out of the car at some stop sign or stoplight, and run like hell. And then, you've lost a couple of blocks, but, then you get back at it. It is so much. I can't even begin to describe to you. It is so much fun. It is so much information, and you learn drinking through a fire hose. And Urban Scout, I have done the Urban Survival class, which I understand has some elements of similarity, but Urban Scout class is all about understanding the baseline of where you live, or the baseline of, where you end up, understanding, the idiosyncrasies of an urban environment and how to collect intelligence and how to develop plans and all sorts of things that make you a very formidable individual in an urban jungle.
So to my EP operators, these two courses are a must-have in your toolbox of tools. I'm just saying.
100%. 100%.
Because you can use the urban escape and evasion to bring to your clients and share this wealth of information, because it's promoted by Mr. Kevin Reeves of, let's share the information. Let's get people organized. Let's get people educated. It's not super proprietary, as long as you're not claiming his information as yours.
Right. And so
give credit where credit's due.
You can go, like Mr. Frost said, and you can go and teach these anti-kidnapping principles and these, move and communicate principles to your clients and your principals, and make them all that much more prepared for all the traveling that you do,
even your team.
And yeah, it's great. It's incredible stuff. So we're really excited to be going. That is Austin, Texas, the 3rd through the 8th of January. Jump on it now. If you are anywhere near Texas, you need to be a part of this. So that's what we're doing the first part of January. The second part of January is my personal Disneyland, and that is SHOT Show 2022.
He's got a boner right now just saying that.
SHOT Show. And SHOT Show, for those of you who are not familiar with SHOT, is the largest firearms hunting, law enforcement, military expo, convention, whatever you want to call it, like ever. It is like 30 miles. If you walked booth to booth looking left, it's like 30 miles of booths, because you got to double back to look at the other booth, whatever. It's an incredibly large operation, which it blows my mind every time I go, because of all the debuting products, all the amazing training, the connections and the networking that you make. The place is teeming with the cutting edge information. They have a bunch of lectures and classes and courses. It doesn't matter if you're military or law enforcement. They've got stuff for you for continuing education. They've got stuff for security practitioners, firearm practitioners, all kinds of stuff. They've got industry leaders giving panels and lectures. And then on top of that, you get to go and experience and touch and feel everything that this industry has to offer. I love it. I love it so much. And hopefully while we're out there, maybe we can club a couple of people over the head and drag them back to the hotel and stick them on the show. And you didn't know where I was going with that, did you?
I was going to turn that really sexual chocolate for a minute.
Please don't.
and then you ruined my fun.
I did. I had to cover my bases quickly before you went sexual chocolate on the microphone. So, if we can, then we'll bring some of these industry leaders to you through us.
Watch for my lives. I'm just saying, watch for the lives on the Op4 page.
Yes.
And my personal page, if you are lucky enough to be friends with me on my regular page.
100%. Yeah. This is the one place everybody goes every year in order to congeal. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. And
worldwide.
Yes. So to give you a little taste of it, a couple of years ago, I was in the smoke pit and I was walking around an incredible product that my buddy Kelly Allwood produced. It's called the Thermal Mirage Dissipator. It's an aluminum shroud that goes over your suppressor that his proprietary product vents the heat away from the firearm so that you can still see through the optic without getting all the heat wave and whiteout when you're using like thermal optics. And I'm standing there in the smoke pit and I just start chatting this guy up. We're having a good time. We're talking, whatever. And then a couple of his buddies show up and they got, Middle Eastern accents. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, everybody comes from everywhere. Right. And at the end of it, the one dude reaches out for my hand. And as I start shaking his hand, I can feel that he's coining me. He's giving me a challenge coin. For those of you who are not familiar with the process, a challenge coin is something that people within the military and law enforcement and similar industries, we produce our own coins that then we hand out to people as it's not a business card. It's like an appreciative gift to someone that really stuck out to you, because you only have a handful of them because they're expensive to produce. And I feel this coin and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I'm getting coined by somebody. And I look down at my hand and it's the Jordanian Special Forces, like the Royal Special Forces Training Center. And I was like, oh shit. That's the coolest thing. And I start talking to them about oh man, the training center, oh yeah, I know all about this. And they're like, yeah, you should come out and show us how this thing works. Come to Jordan. I'm like, okay. So a half pack of cigarettes later. And yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that can happen when you're open-minded, when you're out there rubbing shoulders and networking. So it doesn't matter what business that you are in. For me, okay. Like I say, this is my Disneyland. For me, this is where I go to make the year's money. I'm never disappointed. I always end up connecting with people that put me in the right place to shake the right hand, that has me doing something that either betters myself or gets me paid, or both. And so if you have things like this in whatever industry that you do, this is something that you should be listening to and internalizing. Because this goes back to a lot of the things we've talked about before, Mr. Frost, about self-development, growth, and you've got a lot of stuff going on as well. So you've got something really interesting that you just put yourself through the ringer, and even more to come. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
So I just finished, what was it, the 18th of December, I finished Wildland Firefighter Technician 2, the course to become a Wildland fire technician. We'll call it that because we're not firefighters, but we deal with fire in the wildland. Anyhow, so I got into that. I'm looking to either go private or maybe even go work for one of the national parks. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really put all my feelers out just because, well, SHOT Show does do a lot of things for us. And then on top of that, this last executive protection thing really kind of opened some doors for us as well.
You're talking about the IPSB Close Protection Conference?
Yeah, I can't remember that whole acronym. It's too much for my brain.
That's what I'm here for.
Right.
I'm the memory of us.
And that's a scary thought. But the truth of the matter is that there has been a lot of doors that have opened up for us that have really created some spark. It's even created some spark in my life as far as attitude and outlook of a lot of things. So there's some great things coming down the bend that I'm super excited for.
So what exactly does the wildland thing entail? Like, what do you do?
Put fires out. No. Wildland fire is, when they get the fires essentially out in the wild, like the desert. Like here in Utah, we get a lot of fire. California is notorious for it, like all of that kind of stuff. So, that's hand line. A lot of the hand crews go out and dig lines and help put out fire and try and manage the fire. You don't necessarily always put out the fire, but you at least kind of harness that fickle little bitch of fire, but at the same time, trying to keep yourself safe at the same time. But that it's super physical. I learned the hard way that I have a lot of self-reflecting to do and self-work that I have to do in order to be a productive member of a team. And one of those is quitting smoking and getting healthy. So along with that, that's going to require me to quit smoking, which I am currently working on. I haven't done so well today, but it's going to happen. And two, we're going to get a little more hardcore into being a savage. That berserker savage mentality of quit being the victim. And that involves training.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into, the who you are. A lot of people, I notice they want to identify themselves as like the what they do. Like, oh, I'm a firefighter, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a doctor, whatever. That's the what you do.
That's not who you are.
That's not who you are. And so the who you are should be an ever evolving tapestry of fighting and courage, training, reading, performance. And when you're done, you die. That's
a very, very good way to explain my thought process right there that I was trying to explain to you earlier.
Yeah.
A very eloquent way. Enunciation is cool.
I can make all kinds of things very flowery for you.
Yes.
So, that's great. And, as we go along in between all of this stuff, we're reading books and researching stuff and looking, what's the next, training evolution, the next gig, what's next? I'm always hungry for the next, right?
Right.
We came out of, EP school, and I was like, all right, what's the next school? I didn't want to go home. Screw the kids and the wife. Like, forget those guys. Like, I need to train.
Right.
I really want to see us get down to Arizona this year and do the Stop the Bleed class through Divergence training.
Oh yeah, I'd love
with Daryl.
Love Daryl. He's such a cool guy.
Yes.
I can't wait to meet his wife, to be very honest with you.
She's a cool lady.
I think it'd be really cool to be able to learn that, because she's the one that teaches that class, right?
Well, she's the doctor, yes.
Right. But I mean, like, she's the one that teaches that class, maybe. I don't know. Anyways.
But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of things that we're trying to get done, this year. And now that I hear it out loud, it sounds like the New Year's resolution thing, and it didn't even cross my mind before we started going. But there should be something that gets you out of bed in the morning and excites you. And for whatever reason, when the clock strikes midnight on January 1st and it's zero dark, and here you are in 2022.
I don't think that it should be the first day of January. I'm a strong believer. I don't know if any of you have seen if you're my friend on my personal page of Facebook, stop waiting for the first of the year. Tomorrow's the same as Saturday.
Sure.
Just start.
Yes.
Starting is making a plan.
Right. I guess what I meant.
Right. I'm
contextually.
I'm not telling you. I'm just saying in general, I think a lot of people.
I feel attacked.
I know you do. But I feel like a lot of people wait until the 1st of January to even make a plan. Let's make a fucking plan now.
Yeah.
That's your first step. You got to take some kind of action.
Plan A is have a plan.
Right. Just start. That's all you got to do. You don't need to go get a gym membership at the fanciest fucking gym or anything like that. Fuck. Put on a coat. If it's cold where you're at, take a step outside, walk down to the end of the street and walk back. That's something.
Right.
Figure out what you want in life and go for it. If you feel like you don't make enough money, guess what? Add to your skill list to make more money.
100%.
You need to get a secondary job to make a little bit more money to make those ends meet. Get a second job.
And for having said as much, you are now booted off of another Facebook group.
Right. A fitness, nonetheless. And it wasn't even, well, it was. I guess it was. Anyways, we won't go into it. I'm a little salty about it still.
Okay. Well, then I'll switch gears on you. Next, I want to talk about another training evolution that I'm going to be going to this year. Doing so,
I'm a little salty.
I'm going to walk away with something worth somewhere in the realm of about $60,000 to $80,000, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do that here in a moment. But first, check out our friends at Smash Labs Rage Rooms, a Southern Utah exclusive with franchise options available. You won't find another adventure spot quite like this. 5 axe-throwing lanes with a variety of edge weapons, and their special Rage Rooms, where you and your friends can work out the day's frustrations by smashing TVs, home appliances, and all kinds of glassware, big and small, and an ever-evolving range of ceramic and miscellaneous items sure to thrill the senses. Call them today and schedule your date night, special event, or even large private parties. Visit their website at www.smashlabs.biz and check out all their special pricing packages, or call 435-359-2214. That's 435-359-2214. Walk-ins welcome. That's Smash Labs Rage Rooms. You're damn right it is.
Smash.
I'm getting better at those promos.
Yeah. At least feeding into it.
Yeah, I was able to kind of like even create a little bit of like
suspense.
Well, not
stay tuned. 60 days
here in a moment. But yeah, I'm trying to make those transitions better because we're still kind of a clunky show. But thanks for being here with us, everybody. We love you.
We all got to start somewhere.
Started from the bottom. Now we're still I can see the bottom from here. Like, just to be honest with you.
18 episodes in.
Yes. Still new, still fresh, so face. So I alluded to a moment ago, another training evolution I'm going to. I'm going to go spend 4 weeks in Georgia with Custom Canine Unlimited, and I'm going to do a canine handlers course for a dual purpose animal. What that means is it's a dog that has been trained to do two important tasks. And so oftentimes when you see like a police canine, they have 3 or 4 hats that they wear. They do most of them, pretty well. Most of what they do is bark and bite, but they also have, tracking and some, drug detection and things like that. I'm aiming at getting a dual purpose, which should be a kind of elevated level, as far as I understand, for the emphasis of tracking and drug detection. That's right. The bad guys are getting a snitch dog.
I'm a little salty because I would love to just a single purpose dog of tracking. I would love to have a tracking dog, especially the type of dog that you can pick. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what you just said. You sexual chocolated that one too hard.
I'm a little salty that I don't get to be a part of this, but if it works out, maybe further on down the road, I will be able to do the same.
And the beautiful part about it is if you are a veteran, you can too. So if you go to Custom Canine Unlimited, just Google it. I don't have everything in front of me.
Just Google it.
Just Google it. There's the ability to use your Montgomery GI Bill or your post 9/11 GI Bill. They are a yellow ribbon program, affiliated program. And so if you use those tools that are available to you to pay for the course, you get the animal for free.
Free.
Full free.
Free. That's $0.
And this is an animal that they've been working with, for about a year before you get there and do the handler's course. So the dog is pretty well dialed in before you get there. And then it's really dialed in when you and the dog leave. And, depending on what your dog is trained to do, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 dog. Wow. There's all sorts of different things that dogs do. Specifically, like I say, what I'm looking for, we're probably looking at a $60,000 dog just, in the training. And so that's going to be another thing that we add to our business model, offering it up to private businesses, schools, even on like a nonprofit function, where, we would offer to be able to go through places that normally wouldn't have access to. I really am, what's the word I'm looking for? Not dedicated. I'm really passionate. That's the word I'm looking for. Really passionate about service, and being service oriented, which I think all bad guys should. And so one of the reasons I picked tracking as the second purpose was not for hunting down other bad guys. I'm not a law enforcement officer, although I play one on TV. I'm not a bounty hunter, but I wanted to be able to provide a service for people, and that would be search and rescue. And so
that's a great idea.
You can come in, papers in hand, and you can volunteer yourself and your animal. Now, Mr. Frost and I have been through tracking courses through On Point Tactical with Kevin Reeve. And
that's another course that I would like to do again.
Yes. Always refreshing. always learning something new. And I think, excuse me, I think that that's an important part of the who I am. I like to do acts of service for people. It's, one of my I'm going to use scare quotes here. One of my languages.
His love languages.
I said languages.
It's a love language.
Don't add the word. I have no love in my heart. I'm a bad guy.
Shut up.
For good reasons.
Shut up. He loves to cook and make people feel good. And that is one of the many things that I love about Mr. Scotty Don't.
Oh.
Because I don't walk away with an empty belly or feeling loved when I leave his house.
Or not feeling loved.
Not feeling loved. I do.
You better feel loved.
I do.
Okay.
Anyways.
Soft and mooey gooey.
Yeah.
I love it.
Enough of the mushy stuff.
And I love you. You already said it. Deal with it. So that's a couple of things that we're going to be about over this next year. And, everything that we're doing has something that we can monetize. Now, Mr. Frost was talking a minute ago in his tirade about, if you don't have what you want now, you need to work for it. You need to go out. Okay, your job only pays you so much. Go get a second job. Go take a side hustle. I know a dude who was working 3 jobs at once. And it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because I really wanted him to devote his time to the job he was supposed to be working. But he did something for Google, and I don't remember what it was, but he had to have like these weekly meetings, and those weekly meetings, because they were international, just happened to like coincide with his shift. So he would go to a corner of the lot somewhere to get the best service that he could. And like, what do you call it and hotspot his phone to his laptop and like zoom in with like these Google people, because he was some sort of Google tech or Google rep or something like that. And I mean, he had all these different hustles that he was doing and just, taking that money and reinvesting it in all the other things that he was doing. I mean, the dude was literally at one point, he was watching a front gate, against incursion. So he's playing the protector role. He's on a Zoom call on his laptop and he's trading Forex on his phone. Like
all at the same time.
Like that dude's hustle inspired me a little bit. Like, yeah, like rubbed me the wrong way because I was supervising him. Like, dude, like pick a hat today, okay? Right. And please be the hat that I'm asking you to wear.
Right. But that's a big thing. If your job doesn't pay you enough money, get the skills that if you like, that's where you work. Get the skills. Ask for the skills. Even if that means you have to work a little bit for free, better yourself. I mean, there's a guy out there that, you only know what you know. You know what I mean? And you can get blueprints to a spaceship. You want to build a spaceship on Google. You can go to Google and type in how to build a spaceship, and it will give you plans and all the information that you need
and put you on a list with the ATF.
Whatever. But nonetheless, you can still do that. You could essentially educate yourself. For those of you that are into emergency management, I'm going to tell you a little trick. FEMA, if you do all the courses on FEMA, it will take you about 2 years to do all the courses on FEMA. Plus like 2 math classes, you can have a master's degree in
bachelor's.
You're correct. Bachelor's degree in emergency management. Not only that, FEMA themselves, the federal government, will reach out to you and offer you a job to work for FEMA. Those guys work like 6 months out of the year, like the hurricane people do.
Making them 6 figures too.
Right. And they get paid year round. So just a a little word of, and they're free. They're 100% free, other than your time, and that's time you can never get back. But
some of those classes are so painfully boring.
They are, but it's worth. And that's my point is, you're not strong at math. Get on Google, give you some math problems. It'll teach you how to do the math problems. And now suddenly, I got better math skills. Now I can move up in my job because I know how to do trigonometry, whatever. I don't know. I don't even know that word. I can barely do add and subtract and multiply. Don't ask me to divide. But anyways, I'm just telling you, like, to better yourself. You want to learn a new language? Free Duolingo. You can get all sorts of stuff. If you Audible, we were talking about Audible. Every month you're part of Audible, you get a credit. I have like 13 credits, and I could almost pay for the first year of Rosetta Stone for a language through Audible. I'm sure it's not Rosetta Stone, but you know what I mean? That's my point, is that if you want to learn some things, it's out there. Better yourself. Learn a language. Learn, if you're not good with English or spelling, like myself, I get mad at people for correcting me, like Mr. Scotty don't, on social media.
That was a fun day when you...
I got a little salty. Anyways, I hate being corrected like that, especially publicly. But my point is that you can always better yourself by investing in yourself. That means going to a course. That means, just educating yourself. Look at all these musicians that learned how to play instruments on their own just because they wanted to learn something. I mean, there's a lot of things, you want to learn. You're the only one stopping yourself.
Right. I mean, I can think of so many people in our industry who sit behind a desk, in front of a door for 8 to 12 hours a day, 5, sometimes 7 days a week, depending on the assignment. And their sole job is to just eyeball the door should anyone ever come in.
Right.
Just, to verify that they're allowed to be there.
Right.
So the rest of the time they're bleeding from the eyes out of boredom, watching Netflix shows and listening to tunes and watching YouTubes and TikToks and all that other garbage, when they could be sitting there bleeding from the eyes doing FEMA classes. And within a 2-year time frame, they could go from sitting at the desk to being on the 40th floor, being the, emergency management executive.
Of the region.
Yeah. Because how many of us, have college degrees coming out of, the enlisted ranks of the military, which is where you get a lot of the people in our industry. Right.
But it's becoming more and more common, most definitely, that guys are getting degrees.
But for the ones that, that can hack it.
Right.
Yeah, they have to read.
Right. That's true. But I'm just saying.
There goes the Marine Corps.
Right. Right. I don't know. I know some pretty freaking badass dudes that actually have some great degrees that were enlisted and were a bunch of knuckle draggers that I didn't even think were that smart.
Yeah.
And
I can think of
really smart.
Yeah. I can think of one, Stephen Nulf. Got a master's degree while sitting on the toilet, like literally, because the only free time, he had outside of work at home was sitting on the toilet reading the 10,000 books that you have to read for the master's program in counterterrorism or whatever it was.
Right.
And
I get tired of hearing people complain about, I don't make enough money, or, the cards are stacked against me. Cards are stacked against you because you let them be stacked against you. Like, you choose. You get to choose how your story goes. I mean, Joe Rogan has something that says, be your own hero. You know what I mean? Be the movie star of your own life. You get to choose what you choose to do. And you also get to create your own happiness. So if you're not happy where you are, that's your fault. I honestly, I hear a clip from, I've been talking about him all the freaking time. Andy Frisella. He owns the supplement company, and he's been on Joe Rogan a lot of times, but he has a clip that says, he's the guy who started 75 Hard. He has a clip that a lot of people use, but we don't have third world problems. You don't have problems. You have difficulty, but you don't have problems. You have a house, a roof over your head. You have food in your belly. How you choose to put what you choose to put in your body is your choice. But, you have running water. You don't go outside to shit in a hole. You have those things. You have those things at your access that we really take for granted. And it really, really made me think when you and I were in Louisiana of realizing, I was happy that I had not the strongest of running water, but I had running water for a shower in a hotel room. I didn't have any power, didn't have any air conditioning. I was miserable as fuck because it was hot and I worked nights. So I got the heat and the humidity of the day, but I had a bed to sleep in. They made sure I had some food to eat. I wasn't living out of cans and MREs. I wasn't sleeping in the mud. You were, and I'm sorry, but
some people have it rougher than others.
Right. But my point is that we don't really have problems. We have difficulties, and how we choose to address those difficulties, they're not problems. They're just things you need to figure out and adjust to and really make it either positive or make it negative.
Right.
And I really am a strong believer that, this victimhood mentality that I have lived in, I'm not going to say that, I'm Mr. Positive and whatever, because I've definitely had my pity parties. I had one not too long ago with, somebody said some salty ass shit about me going to the Wildland Fire course. Hey, everybody passes that course. It really fucking kicked me in the nuts. But at the same time, you know what? I went. What's he doing? He's being salty and saying, everybody passes that course. Well, not everybody, because you're still sitting home and you go through your posts and you're complaining because you don't make enough money at your job because the government is doing something to you. Change your job. Change your environment.
Change your mindset.
Right. It's not, look at me. This is horrible. Why is this against me? When easily it could be, cool. Look, I get a new opportunity.
Right. Excuse me. So
I'll get off my soapbox.
Push forward. That's the theme here. 2022, it is coming in hot, and make the best of it. We are here for you. And if you guys need anything, you're always welcome to reach out to us, and these bad guys will help you out for good reasons. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mr. Frost, let's blow the horn and get the hell out of here. Thanks again, everyone, for listening. We are Oppositional Forces. Shout out to Thomas Larson, our executive producer. Shout out to the Smash Labs Rage Rooms. Shout out to the Barber Collective. Big shout out to On Point Tactical with Kevin Reeve. We're really, really excited about going to this class here in a couple of days. And we really appreciate all the time that people take to listen to us. My phone's constantly blowing up with people going to our website and checking it out. That's at badguyforhire.com. People are subscribing to the Patreon. It's a slow growth, but it's growth. And we're excited to have you. If you're not on our Patreon yet, it's patreon.com/oppositional forces. Hey, throw some ducats at us, okay? Toss a coin to your Witcher. All right. We know that, the economy's tanking into the toilet and the world's going to shit and everything's on fire. But listen, the fun is just getting started. So if you can shave off a couple of dollars for us every month on a Patreon subscription, that really helps with things like, hotel rooms and fuel in the tank and keeping Mr. Frost satiated with food, because God knows he gets hangry as a motherfucker. So
I did get stabby.
So, if you can, hey, we support you. We just ask that you support us right back. So if you've got things going on, hey, if you want, a promo in the show, like, we're happy to do, trades, exchanges, or straight cash deals. So, let us know and we'll get the ball a rolling. Thanks again, everybody. And we'll see you later. Thank you for listening to Oppositional Forces, Wage War, and Stack Bodies.